A very different one. It is a virus here at home, and the country is indeed in the grip of a fear spiral. Some families afraid to leave their homes, others afraid to hug their own relatives. Whether this fear is fully justified is really a question that may only be known in historical hindsight ultimately. But at the moment, it is clear to say that in many ways it is dictating American life and putting into question our natural bent towards resilience and the things that make us who we are. Our school systems, our economy, our work life in the office, even our favorite pastimes are now in question for this fall. But for an overwhelming majority of parents say they are concerned about sending their kids back to school. And they feel, as you look at the numbers there, many of them, that that is not a risk worth taking. Let's look at some other numbers to inform this in a bigger way. According to the CDC, 30 children in America have died from COVID-19, 30 too many to be sure. To put it in a larger context, in a typical year, 190 children in America die from the flu. 436 take their own lives.
Now, people may say that's because of the lockdowns, but the problem all along here, Martha, has been, and what has fed this fear is, there's been no real effort on the part of the so-called experts to balance the dangers of coronavirus to the dangers of lockdown and the other measures that have been taken. And you know, people may want to blame Dr. Fauci and Dr. Birx for that, but they're epidemiologists. Their concern and preoccupation professionally is fighting this disease. But fighting the disease has collateral effects, as we've seen in the economy, in the lives of children, in the lives of families, in the lives of workers who can't go to work because they got to stay home and tend to their kids. So what we're desperately in need of here is balance. And not only balance in the way we look at this, but balance in the way we look at the data that we see, which suggests strongly that children are only minimally affected by this disease, and the data that suggests that they're going to spread it to all the teachers is very weak indeed. And in country after country overseas, where schools have been reopened, it simply hasn't happened.
So you heard Simone Sanders, you know, understandably criticizing the president in her role as a senior advisor to the former Vice President Biden. Here he is doing more of that as well today. Let's play that and we'll get your thoughts on it on the other side.
Mr. President, open everything now isn't a strategy for success. It's barely a slogan. Quit pushing the false choice between protecting our health and protecting our economy. All it does is endanger our recovery on both fronts.
So how vulnerable is the president on his handling of this virus with 4-something months to go, Britt?
Well, anytime you have a spreading disease, regardless of the details of it, it's not going to be helpful to whoever's in charge of the government. That's true at the local level, one presumes, at the state level, and at the federal level. So that, make no mistake about it, this coronavirus has hurt Donald Trump's standing, not least because it's damaged what he insists on telling us is the greatest economy ever that we had before it hit, but also because it persists.
Yeah. So
sure, it's a real problem for him. But you know, you heard Simone Sanders say, well, where's the president's plan? Well, I'm not sure we heard a plan from Joe Biden about how to reopen either. You know, he's got his plan on the economy and a number of other things, but I haven't heard his reopening plan yet. So, you know, it remains to be seen whether he'll ever have one.